Hi guys, this is a quick video about map testing preparation. Every year I get a handful of questions about map testing, and this video is designed to answer the majority of them. First question I always get is, why does map testing matter? The short answer to that is that map testing is the way that our district and our state measures your forward progress. And so that forward progress determines things like what classes that you're able to take in 8th grade, what classes that you're able to take in high school. And so those are really important scores for you. And to be honest with you, your teachers just use them to kind of take a look at our own instruction and things that we need to do to improve. But it's important that you take map testing seriously. It's not something to get entirely stressed out over, but something to take seriously, take your time on, and to make sure that you do as well as you possibly can. It's your opportunity to show us what you know. The second question that I get is, what do I need to know about map testing this year? What you need to know is that last year's test was what we called adaptive. And so the questions changed based on whether or not you answered the previous question correctly. This year, the test is what we call a fixed form. So it is not adaptive. A fixed form test means that even though everybody's going to get a different test, all of those tests are going to have the same number of questions, and they are going to be the same level of difficulty. And so even though the person next to you is not necessarily going to have the same questions as you, it's all comes out to be essentially the same thing. The other thing that you need to know about map testing this year is that it's going to be significantly shorter. And so you're only going to test for a couple of days. And during those days, it's really important, because things are getting shorter, that you are doing your best and make sure that you're focusing and all those kinds of things, since it is kind of a smaller testing window. And so that's all you really need to know about map testing this year. The third thing that you need to know is, like, when are we going to be testing? And to be honest with you, that's only going to be a couple of weeks away. It's not very far. And that's okay, because to be honest with you, you're ready. But as we're going forward and we're doing some things to prep and get ready, you just need to know that this is going to be coming up pretty soon. And so it's really good that we're taking the time to do this now. Number 4 is, what do I need for testing? The biggest thing that you need for testing is a positive attitude and some confidence. So when I think of confidence, I think that confidence doesn't come when you have all of the answers. And guys, there are going to be questions that you're not entirely certain of the answer of, and that is okay. What it comes down to is making sure that you're ready to face all of the questions. So it's about your frame of mind. It's about making sure that when you take a look at a question, you're doing what you can to break it apart and figure out what it's asking for. You're reading all of the directions. You're staying positive and confident that the things that you are doing are going to be good. We have spent our entire year doing the kinds of things that are getting you ready for map testing and beyond. I am in no way, shape, or form concerned about your ability to perform well on this test. I have all of the confidence in the world in you, and the best thing that you can do is be confident in yourself. The last question is, how can I prepare? And today's assignment is all about that. So the map testing review assignment is on Google Classroom. And so the first thing that you're going to be doing is watching this video that I actually want you to watch, all of it. Then you're going to read through some map testing review tips and expectations. That's going to get a lot more specific about things that are going on and is really going to help you. Then I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to watch some tutorial videos. All you're going to do is click on this link, and these tutorial videos, even though I'm going to go through some of the tools that are available, are a really great place for you to learn all about the tools that are available on this test. This is a great place to spend some time and is a great place to make sure that you're as prepared as you can be. When you're finished with that, you're going to go down, and there are 4 practice tests that I want you to take. There are 2 in this link, 1 in this link, and 1 in this link. As you're going through, your goal is to take about 10 questions worth of each test. You want to make sure to use all of the tools that are available on the test, really explore what you're able to do, the tools that are going to help you. You also want to really try and get a lot of variety in the types of items that you're seeing, and we'll take a look at that. So for this first one, I'm going to demonstrate for you. You're going to go to the link that it asks you to, and we're going to take a look at language arts. Even though I know that you're going to talk about some things in math, if you want to take a look at math at another time, like maybe during Life Ed, then you're more than welcome to. We're going to click on English Language Arts, Grade 7. There are 4 tests listed here, but you'll notice that they're essentially 2 of the same thing. So this one, this Ela Reading and Listening, is the normal test. The only reason that you would take this one is if you get an audio accommodation, and you'll know. If that is confusing to you, then you'll know that that's not you. The other one is this ELA Research and Writing. So those are the 2 that you're going to focus on. For today, we're going to start with the ELA Reading and Listening. So you'll click on that, and what it's going to do is it's going to take you to another window, and that window is going to look like this. It's going to give you a username and a password because this is just a generic test. So I'm going to type in ELA7RL and test 1, 2, 3, 4. And once I get that, I'm going to go ahead and sign in. It's going to bring you to a page that looks like this. This page is exactly what it's going to look like when you are in your map test. So from here on out, this is what your map test is going to look like. We're going to click continue. We're going to click on our test. And then what it's going to give you is a very long series of directions and things that you need to check. This is something that I anticipate everything that I'm getting ready to click through, you're going to take the time to stop and read. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 pages that you're going to take a look through, and you're going to examine those things and make sure you understand what they are for. When you're ready, you're going to click Begin the Test. So this is actually what the test is going to look like. So there are several things that I want to point out. First of all, in the upper left-hand corner it says Question 1. If you click on this arrow, it's going to show you that there are 12 questions in this assessment. So you can jump around and do them in any order you want. It's in your best interest to do them in the order that they're presented, but that's completely up to you. The next is your pointer, and anytime you choose any of these, you're going to want to make sure that you go back to this pointer tool if you want to do something different. This is the button that is going to allow you to cross off answer choices. This is your highlighter, your sticky notes, your magnifier if you want to make something look larger, your line guide, and then over here is this question mark. This question mark is a really important button because it's your help button. And your teachers are instructed during the test, if any student has a question, we cannot answer it. The only thing that we can do is direct you to this button. So you need to make sure that you know how to use it. Down at the bottom, you'll notice that there's a review and test button, a pause button, because you can pause the test at any time and come back, a flag button that allows you to flag a question and come back and answer it later, and then an options button. You are welcome to play with this options button, but it is the only button on here that I will tell you we spent some time last year taking a look at, and then it did not exist on the actual map test. So that's the only button that I would be a little bit careful of in using it as a part of your strategies. For some of these, it's important to understand how to navigate. So for this, there's kind of a longer piece of text. And guys, in map testing, there are always going to be long texts. It is always going to be in your best benefit to read all of it and to interact with it in ways that we have talked about interacting with text, like high quality annotation interaction. To flip from page to page, all you do is either click to the left or click to the right. So click to the right there, click to the left here to go back. And then I'm going to answer my questions over here. And then if I'm ready to go to my next question, then I'll just click next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through just a general strategy for this question. And that strategy you can really, or those strategies, you can really apply to just about anything that you do. So the first strategy that we know is great is that you need to read your questions before you read your passage. So what I can do is I can look at this, and as I'm reading my question, maybe I want to go grab my highlighter. So it says, which sentence from public transportation is the way to go best supports the argument that using public transportation can help riders save money? Well, I'm going to highlight the part that says best supports the argument. So that lets me know 2 things. Number 1, I'm really looking for evidence. And number 2, I'm looking at an argumentative piece, which should help me to kind of frame my reference. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to read my text. Well, this line guide, especially for those of you who struggle to focus when you're looking on a screen, is a great way to make sure that you are taking the text line by line. It's a great way to make sure that you stay focused on what you need to be doing. As I'm going through, if I see things that I think are significant, I can go back up and I can grab my highlighter just like I normally would. So maybe this first sentence really grabs my attention. It says, taking public transportation makes sense and sense. Well, sense and sense is a play on words. And so maybe I want a sticky note. And on that sticky note, I'm going to say sense, and sense is a play on words. Maybe I also want to know that this looks like the thesis statement. Then what I can do is that's now here. Well, if I don't want it here, I can move it over off to the side so that it's out of the way of my text. Or if that bothers me, I can go back up to my sticky notes and I can hide them. I can make them go away. But they haven't gone away completely. If I go back and click Show Sticky Notes and double click on it, then I have my sticky note right here. As I go through, maybe then I've decided I need to eliminate some answer choices, and ultimately I'm deciding that A is my correct answer. If I'm really confused, maybe I want to flag my question so that I know to come back to it later. Then I can go to my next question, which looks like a drag and drop. Again, I'm going to read, drag the choice that best completes the sentence. So maybe I decide it's this one. I'm going to drag it up, and I go to my next question and my next question, and so forth and so on. When you are done, and I would expect this of any person taking this test, I'm going to expect you to go to this Review End Test button. And what that's going to do is that's going to take you to a screen like this. And it's so important because that's going to show you these dark ones I have already completed. But all these ones that are blank white, those are ones that I haven't taken yet. I haven't answered those questions. So that's going to let me know what I need to go back and review. Also, any questions that I've flagged, if I click on that, that's going to take me directly back to that question. I can even use this navigation up here to see that I flagged that number 1. So no matter what, you want to use some good test taking strategies and make sure that you can go all the way through this, review your test, all those kinds of things that you know are good test taking strategies. The last thing that you're going to do when you have gone through both of those ELA tests, you've taken a look at this literacy practice test, and you've taken a look at this smarter balance test, is you're going to complete a survey. And on this survey, you are going to let us know what you thought and what you did. So you're going to put your first and last name. You're going to rank how comfortable you feel or how prepared you feel for the MAP test. You're going to let us know what things were the best and not so much good in preparing you today. You're going to let us know what else either I or Ms. Hubacher can be doing to help you feel more prepared. And then down here, you can add any other questions or comments. Really, guys, what we need to see is what you need from us. And that's what the most important thing is. Again, as you're going through, once this is all said and done, you're going to submit this assignment to Google Classroom. But any of these things you can go back and do during Life Ed or during the downtime. If you want to take it home, show whoever is at home what this is going to look like. The more exposure that you give yourself, the better off you're going to be. Also, and this is my last comment, please know that everything that we are doing here in these upcoming weeks and everything that we've done all year is to prepare you for things that are outside of MAP testing. We don't do the things that we do to prepare you for a test. However, the things that we have done have prepared you for this test. So be thinking about the kinds of strategies and things that we do in class and the ways that we think and the way that we analyze material and pull things apart, because those are the things that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing during MAP testing. All right, guys. Again, I have all the confidence in the world in you, and I can't wait to see how well you do. Bye.